Hello, I'm Thomas Salazar. I'm doing an oral presentation on immigration. I cannot tell you the name of the person that I interviewed. I can let you know it is a female. She likes to remain anonymous. And the reason how she got to the United States was from her mother marrying a soldier in the United States Air Force. And that's how she came to the United States. And her dad was a very hardworking man, because since he was in the Air Force, so he would be always doing something majority of the time. Mom was very traditional. She loved anything from England. That's where they were from, and so she would keep every tradition as possible. Some of the traditions the person I interviewed did not like. Most of it came back to food. Her mom would always stick to the traditional foods of England, and so she did not like them at all. And she would sit there and stare at it at the table and never touch it. Never. That was the one thing she would elaborate on a lot. She did not like it. She would just sit there and stare. So her life, since her father was, or not really her father, kind of like a stepfather, was in the Air Force, so they would move roughly about a year and a half. So for her, it was a little harder to keep a strong relationship with friends, but she would try to be outside most of the time, and she would avoid doing chores a lot because she was just one of those people that more enjoyed being outside instead of doing things, getting stuck inside doing things. It's just wasn't in her nature. And she did attend LMC. She was a student in the late 80s. And at this point, this is when she learned from an older teacher that she was very into organic chemistry in college. It just blew her mind on all the things that you can actually learn, and that she didn't even understand that she could learn because it was something different. Because she just thought, okay, normal college person, have no idea kind of what I'm doing. But then she ran in with this teacher, and this teacher like almost blew up her mind, and this was something she enjoyed because kind of on the lines of what she does. And this led into her going to Santa Cruz College, and then from Santa Cruz College she really enjoyed it because at this time she would meet her husband, and they would slowly getting to know each other. She would elaborate on how he had no idea what he really wanted to do in college, and she kind of smirked about it. It was kind of funny to watch her explain about that portion. And there's quite a few things. She did graduate, and then she was a chiropractor, but then got offered a job as a teacher. So she is a teacher in a college, so she did accept that because she found out that, since somebody inspired her so greatly, that she would try to do the same thing to others and inspire them to where they can figure out something that they really love and want to do. For this individual that I did interview, she didn't want to be recorded, but she was very willing to answer most of the questions. She didn't want to get things too personal because, yes, she wanted to remain anonymous, so I kept it that way. And she's a very easygoing, calm person, but she does push people. She's a gloriously good teacher, and I enjoyed her as a teacher because she taught me a lot of things. You didn't really think about anything until somebody actually pushed you to that point, and she pushed me to that point where I'm literally taking 28 units right now, and she pushed it to where I'm gonna be done with pretty much, I think the lowest is gonna be a B right now for any of those classes, and it's pretty good. She's taught me a lot, and she very strong work ethic. Me and a few other students would be there before even her office hours were, so she would literally be there and she would answer our questions with no circumstances, no nothing. She would always try to help as much as possible to where we can fully understand the material she was giving us. And she does have 2 kids. One's in college, one's still to the middle school or high school. And one in college is a firstborn, and that one was the story because she would talk about how she decided that she wanted to do the birthing at home, so she did the whole midwife thing, and she gave a good story to that one, and I don't really want to talk about it because this is going to creep me out some more. I don't want to. And she was very into it, but the second I started talking about the family, she was very into everything. Like, she was into it. She wanted to push, just like how she wants to push us as, no, we're not even her kids, and she wanted to push us to where we can get better. But since her kids, they're hers, she literally pushed them as much as possible to where they can go further and as no stops, just going up into life and achieving a lot more. And she did. She loves her family. The first time I ever saw my teacher cry, didn't really cry, but you can see the tears come out of her eye when you're talking about how much she loved her family and how much she loved what she did and all the things that she pushed and strived for to change the way her life was, because she didn't want to be that woman that was a normal, typical one that would be at home doing things just like everybody thinks that women are supposed to do, but she didn't want to be that way. She wanted to go out there, learn stuff, try something new, be different from her family, and strive and be better at anything she could have done. And in this aspect, she was the greatest teacher. And if you ever had her or know her, you're gonna realize who she is. I just can't never say a name. She respect her, and then that was pretty much her. She was a really great teacher, and